Unit Learning Outcome, Week 1 to 3, Lesson 1. At the end of the unit, you are expected to discuss the historical background of the Rizal Law. In this section, the essential terms relevant to the study of the life and works of Dr. Rizal and to the Unit Learning Outcome 1 will define to establish a ground on how to understand terms that you will encounter in this course. As we go through the study of the life and works of Dr. Rizal, please be guided of the following terms and understand its concepts and ideas. Republic Act 1425, known as the Rizal Law. It is an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, colleges and universities courses on the life, works and writings of Jose Rizal, particularly his novels No Limitang Here and Il Filibusterismo, authorizing the printing and distribution thereof and for other purposes. Executive number 75. It is a law mandating the creation of the National Heroes Committee, or NHC, to evaluate national personalities who made impact on Philippine history. Nationalism, it is a sense of national consciousness, exalting one nation above all others, and placing primary emphasis on promotion of its culture and interests as opposed to those of other nations or groups. Republic, it is a democratic government system where the leaders of the country is chosen through election and the leaders rule through distinct given authority that is commonly been checked by other offices of the government. Anti-clericalism in Roman Catholicism, opposing to the clergy for its real or alleged influence in political and social affairs, for its doctrinairism, for its privileges or property, or for any other reason that is according to Britannica.com. Now let's continue to have more knowledge about the life and works of Jose Rizal. To perform the aforesaid Unit Learning Outcomes 1, for the first week of this course, you need to fully understand the following essential knowledge that will be presented in the next pages of this module or the next slide. Please note that you are not limited with the module given to the textbooks or the textbooks that we are using or the slides that presented onto you. You are expected to utilize other books, research articles, online sources, and other resources available in the university's library, for example, e-library, search.proquest.com, etc. Rizal Law or RA 1425. It is deemed necessary to discuss the origin and passing of the Rizal Law. It becomes the basis of implementation and addition of the subjects Rizal, the life and the works of Dr. Jose Rizal. The RA 1425 is the law that enacts the teaching of the books, writings, ideology, and life of Dr. Jose Rizal as a way of teaching nationalism and patriotism with the students on the higher education. Rizal Law was approved on June 12, 1956. Is an act of mandating all public and private institutions, including state colleges and universities, to include Dr. Jose Rizal's life, works, and writings as a course across programs. But before it became law, some provisions in the House Bill and Senate Bill are passed. It is called a law now and known as the Rizal Law or RA 1425. Senator Clara M. Recto was the main proponent of the bill that is in the Senate, known to be Noli Fili Bill or Senate Bill 438 or SB 438. Senator Jose P. Laurel Sr., the chairman of the Committee on Education, sponsored the bill in the Senate. As part of the oppositions, the Roman Catholic Church is against it due to the censorships of the novels of Dr. Jose Rizal that seems to attack the Catholic Church. Even though oppositions voiced their concerns, it was approved in the Senate on May 12, 1956. On April 1956, the House of Representatives, a House bill was passed, namely HB 5561, led by Congressman Jacobo Gonzalez, passed a similar bill that was aligned with the proposed bill of the Senate, of which we now known as the RA 1425. Many controversies and arguments had been covered in this bill, just as in our present situation of the past reproductive health law that the Catholic Church and some conservatives go against its passing. The Catholic Church threatened to close down their schools if it will be passed but it was refuted by Senator Recto that it will be impossible for the Catholic Church to close down their schools, for it is so profitable, and said that the government will just nationalize the educational system of the country if the Catholic Church were going to close down their schools. The senator was not threatened, but it was given a door to open widely to make the schools to be nationalized. On the later part of May 12, 1956, on the approval of the Senate Bill 438, the Senate compromised or banned on telling that the implementation of the reading of the unexpurgated versions of clerically contested reading material, such as Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, will only be for the college or university students, and it is optional. Now let's try to define what is national hero. If you're going to be asked, who is the national hero of the Philippines? Probably, the one that will pop your mind is Dr. Rizal. But in a nutshell, it is not. It is untraceable of when, where, and how does it begin that the national hero of our country is Dr. Jose Rizal. True enough, he is one of our national heroes, but not our national hero. The National Heroes Committee under the Office of the President was created through an Executive Order number 75 of former President Fidel V. Ramos. Its principal duty as a committee is to study, evaluate, and recommend Filipino national heroes based on its contribution, recognition, character, and remarkable achievements for our country as a person. Based on it, through Dr. Jose Rizal's credentials deemed to pass all criteria, he is not known to be the national hero of the Republic of the Philippines. He is known as one of the national heroes of the Philippines. According to NCCA, no law, executive order, or proclamation has been enacted or issued officially proclaiming any Filipino historical figure as a national hero. But there are some heroes we commemorate like Dr. Jose Rizal and Gat Andres Bonifacio, that specific dates are placed for them as a remembrance unknown to us as a national holiday. Philippine national literature, the writings of Dr. Rizal are considered as a literary treasure. Most significantly, his books, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, are used as the basis on how to perceive the scenario of the Filipinos during the Spanish colonization. On the other hand, he had a third novel, not published, The Macamisa. Relation to the Philippine nationalism and literature was joined in a paradoxical notion in the literary sense due to its embodiment of the Filipino culture and the mix-up of other cultures, and that creates a new identity for us Filipinos, where we see the life and its dynamics in view of the Spanish era. Also, we see the exercise of authority that was known in these novels, which differ in concept. Noli Me Tangere is a romantic novel that talks about the love of Crisostomo Ibarra to Maria Clara and its tragic events that unfold on the political and religious flow of the plots that unfolded in every page of the novel. The El Filibusterismo that tackled the revenge of the alter ego of Crisostomo or Simon, who would wage war against Spain to get his dreamed revenge of all the hardships that he encountered. Lastly, the Macamisa, which was not published, dealt with the usage of the virtues, practices, and defects of the Tagalogs. So again, there are three novels that Rizal created by Dr. Rizal. The first one, the Noli Me Tangere. The second one, it's the El Filibusterismo. And the third one, which it was not published, is the Macamisa. Literary pieces paved the way as a reminder of the past and what we should do as a nation that tries to do its best to be better people and citizens of the Republic of the Philippines.